White lives matter more than black ones, and I'm tired of acting like they don't. And before everybody gets all emotional, all we got to do is take a look at history.
So even though the creator took down the video and the allotted time that I gave him, I'm still going to respond to this. Because clearly you're just gish galloping, thinking nobody would respond, but I got time today.
Yes, we are all created equal, as in both of our daddies had to bust to get us here, but that's where this whole thing goes like this. Only one of our lives actually matter enough for our daddies to stick around.
Ooh, me when I'm ignorant. Because if you actually did your research, you would know that unequal policing, discriminatory housing, and mass incarceration are all factors that play into family stability. And a major cause of these factors is systemic racism in the United States. You're taking the outcome of something and then pretending history has nothing to do with it. You sound really slow.
Okay, white people have enriched the entire world over with our technology. So much so that everybody wants to live in proximity to us and not you.
Yeah, and that's called globalization. Almost every nation does this. Because by that logic, we could say that Africans enrich the whole world with their resources, right? Because other nations go there to extract them. See how dumb that sounds? Countries outsource to other places all the time. It's not rocket science.
You guys have managed to create the stoplight, a super soaker, some peanut butter, and what seems to be a primitive method for sealing the floor of mud huts. All non-essentials.
Anyways, here's a clear list of essentials created by Black Americans that you probably use every day. We got microphones, the one that you're using to make your video. We got traffic lights, the one that you also just mentioned right now. Refrigerated transport sounds pretty essential to me. Personal computers, you probably use that to edit your video as well. Talking about some non-essentials.
You guys are still stuck in a state of tribal warfare. We've developed guns, bombs, tanks, drones, and nukes. The best thing you guys have been able to come up with is bows and spears and sticks and stones and rocks and shit. And if black lives actually mattered, then you guys wouldn't gun yourselves down at rates significantly higher than white.
Stereotyping an entire race does not validate your point, by the way. And if we really want to talk about tribal warfare, why do the majority of school shootings happen by white Americans? Quickly. Why are native-born white Americans more likely to commit a crime than undocumented immigrants? And having better communities and having better weapons does not equate to you having a more valuable life. It just means you are more advantaged to others. And I like how you say that, but you don't talk about the history as to why homicide rates are so high. Why is that? Your content essentially consists of obsessing over black people and white supremacist talking points, so I'm not even surprised that you wouldn't have done sufficient research before making a video like this. Please never speak on this topic again.
White culture is superior to black culture in every single goddamn way. When you hear black people say white people don't have any culture, what they're really trying to say is black culture is superior to ours. So let me get this straight. You think mumble rap, skinny jeans, twerking, obnoxious women, friendly fire, and welfare is superior to getting educated, making breakthroughs in science, technology, and medicine, spending a lifetime mastering your craft, and then building civilizations? What the fuck is wrong with your motherfucking brains, yo?
You do realize you used a hip-hop song as the background music in your anti-black culture video, right? You fucking moron. Anyway, let me tell you something from a position of actual lived experience, because clearly you're hiding in some little white town in the middle of nowhere, cowering in fear of black people. I've lived in literally the whitest major city in all of America, and I currently live in one of the blackest major cities in all of America, and the neighborhood I live in is quite literally like a 50-50 split, white and black. It would be your worst nightmare, apparently. Now that that's been established, let me say this very clearly. Black culture, so much better than white culture. It's not even fucking close. And no shade to Portland. Portland's a beautiful city, but Atlanta is just different. It feels alive. It's got vibrance. White culture is just like a fucking hospital bed flatline by comparison. It's the reason why pop culture is so dominated by black culture. It's because it's popular, hence the word pop. And here's the other thing. I have been the only white person in a room full of black people so many times in Atlanta, Georgia, and you know how many times the black people in those rooms have made me feel uncomfortable for being white? 0 fucking times. Find me a black person who's never felt threatened by a room full of white people. I'll wait. On this narrative of like, oh, white people have only created great things and black people have only destroyed them. Shut the fuck up. Holy shit. Go read a book besides Mein Kampf, you piece of shit. Anyway, fuck you.
You say that all whites are racist. Can you expound on that, please?
Any white person who was born, raised, and schooled in the United States of America, if you aren't a racist, you're a miracle. Either that or you decided to educate yourself. Because education in this country is about white is right, brown's all right, black's got to stand back. Yellow's mellow, but whites, we educate in a way that says that white males have done all the adventures, have made all the adventures, have done all the discovering, have made all, Everything that is good and has been accomplished according to social studies, which is actually anti-social studies, by white males. It's a lie. But we do that in order to maintain the myth of white superiority.
Jane did a really good job here. Let's talk about her point on if you're not racist, it's a miracle. If it sounds crazy to you, it's not. In the United States, we learn through a white male perspective. The history books that we read are written by white men. The media that we consume have been written by white men, is currently controlled by white men. It affects our subconscious thinking. Because Americans are forced to view the world through a white male perspective, we are consuming the white male's perspective on the truth. We're not consuming the neutral truth. Another special thing about what Jane presented here is this lack of blame. She's not blaming the average American. She's not saying, oh, hey, you're a bad person. She's simply explaining how unbelievably unlikely it would be to be American, raised in the American school system, and to not be subconsciously racist. It's just really, really, like, virtually impossible. It would be miraculous. Remember that word she used, miracle. We're raised by the white male perspective. It will still affect all of us. By acknowledging the effect, whether we're purposely racist or not, we're able to address it thoughtfully.
You have African American rappers saying N-word this and N-word that, but a Caucasian can't.
So say it.
Say what?
Say the word you want to say.
I'm not saying that I want to say it, I'm just saying that I can't.
Sure you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Okay, this is hypocritical. You know we can't.
Sure you can. This is America. Both of you. Say it.
All right, I think we can move on.
What? Why move on when you want to say it? Both of you want to say it. Huh? All together, everybody.
I just want white people to have a place to live. Like, sure. There's no, the country's going to be minority white, and then a lot of people hate white people. Like, white people aren't like violent to that degree.
Yeah, I'm in my phone. Have you ever heard of postcard lynchings?
What?
Postcard lynchings.
No.
So, all the way up into the 1960s, when black people got lynched, many people would take photos of those lynchings, and what they would do is they would put them on postcards and knickknacks, and people would spread them around. I won't show this on camera, but here's an example of what I'm talking about. This is called the dogwood tree.
Open the border right now.
These were knickknacks. So, if you want to say white people weren't violent, can I read you the poem on the bottom of this postcard?
No, I know about slavery.
This isn't about. No. This isn't slavery. No, 1908. This is 1908. They
turned us into soaps and lamps.
This is from 1908. This is long past slavery.
I know.
This is the only branch of a dogwood tree, the emblem of white supremacy. A lesson taught in the pioneer school that this is the land of the white man's rule. The red man once in an early day was told by the whites to mend his way. I can't say the word, the N-word, now, by eternal grace, must learn to stay in the N-word's place. In the sunny south, the land of the free, let the white supreme forever be. Let this be a warning to all N-words be, or they'll suffer the fate of the dogwood tree. And in it there is 5 black men hung. This is from 1910, and this actually is one of the most common ones. It circulated until 1960 and was sold in the South. So yes, white people are violent too.
Well, we certainly can be.
My name's Kylie, and I'm obviously white. I grew up in a conservative white family, and I know there's been a lot of discourse about whether white people should talk about racism, and here's my argument for why I think that not only should we, but we have to. A lot of racism in white families occurs behind closed doors. I've been over at friends' parents' places and heard them say some pretty obscene things about people of color, assuming that I am on their side simply because I am white. Obviously, this makes for some awkward conversations when I do call them out, but point being, the depths of the racism and the darkness that seeps in deeply into these families can only, in my opinion, truly be exposed by other white people, because they will never be their full racist selves around anyone who is not white. They like to save face publicly and say that they're not racist, but then again, if you go into their homes and you hear the things they say, that would suggest otherwise. I just encourage you, if you're a white person and you know people like this, please say something. Don't just ignore it for fear of conflict.
It's a female? She's wearing a green.
Tell them I'll be here when they arrive. That I will be waiting for them to arrive.
A white.
You can tell them her name is Camilla Hudson. I have ID and will share it.
Camilla Hudson. And it's probably spelled Camillahudson.
You got it exactly, like the river.
Morry, Morry. Matson, Matson. African American.
Black. No, I'm not African American. I'm black. Black isn't a bad word.
All right, thank you.
I think white people think that other people want to be them. I think they think other people want to be white. They actually think that people are looking at them ordering Charlie Kirk's at Starbucks in a show of solidarity and thinking, God, I wish that was fucking me. They think people want to be like them. Bro, nobody wants to be like white people.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In every lifetime, if I ever got reincarnated, I would choose to be black. This video is so funny because it is true. Like, white people think that they are the norm, the status quo, and that they are the blueprint for things, and everything outside of the scope of being white is not normal. I can speak boldly for the majority of black people on earth, that I will say 99.999% of black people. In every lifetime, if I ever got reincarnated, I would choose to be black. With everything that we experience in the world, with everything, all the history we have, all the racism, microaggressions, macroaggressions existing in this world, having to prove yourself, being better than everybody just to get an equal level playing field, I would always choose to be black. I couldn't imagine not having 20 cousins, having fake cousins, being communal, going to church, having growing up in my grandmother's house, having dinner at my grandma's house, having a drunk uncle that has hoop dreams at 50 who used to be a rapper. I couldn't imagine not having all the things that bring me together as a black person with other black people. Seasoned food, rhythm, music, clothes, swag, style. Impact. I just could not imagine not being this person. So if you're watching this and you're white and you really think that you are the blueprint because the world has told you so, that's a lie, bro. It's a lie. I would never want to be white. Even, don't get me wrong. There are some people out there that have issues internally, self-hatred, and that's due to our history in this land and the world. But the majority of us would always choose to be melanated in the next lifetime. Have a wonderful day.
White supremacist alert.
Loud and obnoxious. I like music that rhymes. I'm 13% of the population and I commit half the crime. Who am I? The people who twerk on tables at nice establishments.
When I said that Africa has looked the same for 200 years, obviously that's closer to 2000. I was trying to be generous and grant them some leeway, but mud huts. Innovative. And then, no, I will never go to Africa unless someone pays me to go. Even then, I don't think I would. I would have to get a bunch of vaxes to go over there because it's disease central and I don't get vaccines. Second of all, the only thing appealing in Africa is the wildlife, but I could go to the zoo or Memphis. Monsters are superior to any other color of monster. All the other flavors are inferior to the white monster. This is about energy drinks.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Furaha. If you're watching us for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by, and I'm kindly requesting that you subscribe to my channel, be part of this amazing family. Now what you can do is go to my channel, watch the videos that I have done in the previous days, and find out if that is the kind of content that you'd like to interact with on a daily. And if you are into anything that is talking about Black Americans, anything that is talking about Black people, the Black community, anything that is against racism, against black people being taken advantage of, then this is the place for you. Now feel comfortable, subscribe, join the family, and feel at home. For those that have subscribed and you have been here since day one, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you for that kind of support. You have always been there for me, you know, in times where I even do not have enough energy to make a video. I think about you. I think of the things that you will say in the comment section, and I go ahead and do that video. Now, thank you so much for that kind of support. You have been sharing my videos, you have been liking them, you know, leaving comments and all that, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you for that kind of support. Now, on today's video, guys, we're talking about white people being racist towards black people. Now, this is not strange on this channel. We have talked about these things a couple of times before, and we will still talk about them. And the reason why these people usually come to the comment section and talk about, you know, you're always talking about racism and it doesn't do anything, it doesn't change anything. Why don't you think of a better way to do it? Why don't you think of, you know, like, stop talking about it, maybe it will change? No, we're not going to stop talking about racism until you people call yourselves to a meeting and realize that you're doing wrong by black people, that the things that you're doing to black people are malicious and they are not right. Now, look, for example, at this guy that is talking about white lives matter more than black lives. You all know how that usually goes, you know. He has picked that statement from where black people usually say, you know, black lives matter, and now he has twisted it to his own liking, and he's now talking about white lives matter more than black lives. And to him, and in his head and in his thought, in all his beliefs, he thinks that white people are actually better than black people. Now, that is when we talk about white supremacy, white superiority, and, you know, all these notions that these people have created for themselves, and they have believed in those things, and they have somehow made themselves to, you know, believe that they are somewhat more important than black people, regardless of putting in effort. You know, they don't have to put in effort, they don't have to try anything, they're just born naturally better than black people. Now, that is what they have believed. That is something that they have been told over the ages by their forefathers, and they have seen the things that their forefathers have done to black people, and somehow that makes them believe that they are superior to black people as far as everything is concerned. If we're talking about intelligence, they think that they are sharper than black people. If we're talking about inventions, most of them, and the history that is taught in schools has made sure that they're not teaching them the reality of things. They're not teaching them the truth. They're making sure that black kids, white kids, all don't get a glimpse of the truth. Now, black people have invented a lot of things, and we have made a video in the past about that. We have talked about thousands and thousands of inventions that were made by black people, and that very much upset white people. They were not happy to hear that. Now, they were talking about, you know, when a white person was asked on one of the videos whether they know anything that a black person had invented, they went ahead and talked about, you know, they invented peanut butter, they invented twerking, you know, as a dance style. And then they also said black people invented being loud, yeah, like just being loud, being violent, being arrogant, you know, stuff like that. Now, for that, for these kind of people to talk the way that they talk, it is the systems that they have been made to grow under. You know, they have believed these things that they have been told over time. They have been given information that is false, and they do not think that there is an alternative to that. They do not pay mind to the fact that black people have done a lot for this world. And especially when you're talking about America, without black people, America would never be where it is right now. And that is one fact they do not want to agree. They have refused to agree for ages, and they think that black people have actually been a burden to America. Now, what they fail to understand is that the efforts, the creativity of black people is what has made America what it is right now, without which America would not be anything. America would not amount to anything. It would not be anything worth discussing, because We know white people. Now, if you want to know who white people really are, look at, for example, the situation on their farms right now. Every time we make a video about white farms, we are usually talking about sad news, bad news, that they are unable to take care of their own farms. They are unable to harvest their crops. They are unable to plant. They are unable to take care of their farms because they asked for black people to be deported, and yet they were not ready for the work that it takes for them to get a harvest from their farms. Now, they have all the time in the world and they have the population, and they were talking about black people taking their jobs. Now, they have the farms to work on. What are they doing about that? They have failed to work on their farms. They're now asking President Trump, again, the man that they asked to deport the black people, they're asking him again to give those people visas so that they can come back as documented immigrants. Yeah. Now, the reason why they want those people back is not because they miss them. It's not because they have seen their value. It is because they are unable to take care of their farms. They're unable to take care of everything that those people were doing on their farms. Now, do not forget that these people were being paid meager salaries. They are being paid peanuts. Yeah, they did not have a presentable salary to even talk about. They have paid them little money. You know, we're talking about $1 to $7 an hour, and these people have been surviving, merely just surviving on that. And these white people also thought that it is not okay to pay them that, and they asked them to be deported. Once they got deported and then they realized that they actually need these people if their farm work is to be done, now they're calling on President Trump to ask these people to come back. Now, they have done that already. If you haven't seen that news, look it up. They have invented a visa that allows those undocumented immigrants to come back and work for the white people on their farms because they are unable to do their work by themselves. Now, these are the same people that are talking about without black people, they would be okay. Without black people, they would still have the America that they have right now. That is impossible. That is not true. That is illogical. Because if you are capable of making America the way that it is right now, you did not need slaves. You did not need slavery. You do not need black people now coming in. We're talking about something that is currently happening. You do not need black people to be documented so that they can come to work on your farms, on your terms. Yeah. If you are that hardworking, if you are that spontaneous and you can do all these things by yourselves, you do not need to call them to come to help you. Yeah, you can be doing your work. Why are you leaving your crops to go bad in the farms? Why are you unable to take your crops to the markets? Why are you unable to harvest? Why are you unable to plant? Why are you crying as farmers in Texas and wherever places that you are? Why are there farmers that are crying and they're unable to do all that work by themselves? If they are very hardworking, if they would have made America the way that it is right now by themselves, then why do they need black people still? Yeah. Now that is just food for thought, guys. I know that you have your thoughts on this. I would like to know what you think about this video and what these white people in the video have said. And kindly remember to share this video to your friends, to your family, you know, to people that are like-minded, those that would wish to see this kind of content. And also remember to like the video so that it goes viral to reach as many people as it can. And guys, if you have not subscribed to my channel, most importantly, please, I'm requesting that you do that right now before you forget. Subscribe to my channel, be part of this amazing family. We're glad to have you over here, and thank you so much for watching the video to this point. Now guys, take care of yourselves. I will see you on my next video. Bye for now.